stuff, and you can actually go through the bridge when it's done loading, which is a little slow here. But the idea is, you can look at something like this. This is what they did for Star Trek. But you can look at something like this and see how potentially it could be used to showcase a lab or showcase a museum online to make it an interactive feature. There we go. And this is new technology. You never used to be able to do this in a banner ad. But it's something that we're now seeing that is attracting a lot of attention. You click over little hotspots and suddenly you can click on your downloads, and get little Easter eggs of content that people are interested in seeing. If you want to put your Star Trek wallpaper on, you can do that. All kinds of different things. You can click back and keep going through the bridge. So it just shows you a different way of looking at things. So that's what Star Trek did. Then Terminator Salvation actually took, for their campaign, they took inspiration from something that actually already exists, SETI at Home, which is a distributed computer programming where users can download and analyze data on their desktops. So they actually created a sort of fake application that was from Skynet. Those of you who may not be familiar with Terminator, Skynet is the very evil computer group that eventually takes over the world and destroys humanity. But they started off as a Good Old Happy Computer Corporation. The application is no longer up, but we've got some screenshots from it. So basically, you would download the application to your desktop, and it would have data screens that were crunching fake numbers. And of course, all the data was fake, stuff that was made up, although they did actually hide the names of several scientists who were doing AI work. And there was a lot of blogging about what if the data was real or not real, and people trying to find things out. So these are concept photos from the designer, who was a guy named John James, who was involved with it. And as you can see, it looks like something that if you look at that and you're interested, you might go, I want to find out more about how that is. So it's an example of how something that is sci-fi based can inspire somebody to actually go deeper into what the real science behind it might be. Then we've got sort of going the humorous route. There was a movie, a little independent film called Cold Souls that came out. And it was a movie that starred Paul Giamatti, and the idea was if you're tired, not really liking the way you're dealing with life, you can put your soul in storage for a little while. And they created, as part of their marketing campaign, a whole separate site called the Soul Storage Company. And you could go there and you could actually catalog your soul. You can go and buy their testimonials. They do a whole office tour. We'll see if this loads. If not, I'll go back to some pictures. And again, this is something, if you stumbled across this, obviously, you would probably figure out it's not a real thing, but it looks very official, looks like that. It's definitely going to draw you in and catch your attention. So these were guys who sort of had a sense of humor about what they were doing. The whole lab that they're showing. This is a shot of recently extracted souls. They put a lot of time and energy into this to make it something that people would want to click around and play with and hopefully be interested in the film. So that's another example there. The movie Angels and Demons, not a sci-fi movie, but they did an interesting thing where they had a very, very deep website that played out on a number of different levels, and they created an on-location map. And this I thought was really interesting because it was a way of combining fact and fiction. They used, as you know, there are a lot of theories in Dan Brown's writing that may or not have a basis in truth, depending on what you believe about conspiracy theories. But what they did was they used the locations in the film, which are real places, to explore the fact behind the fiction. So this was a map that was part of their website. You would click on one of the locations, and then that would bring up a little window that had images, video, text, all kinds of things. It would have interviews with some of the designers, some of the people who were behind it, the writers, and then in here there would be explanations of what it was about or where things actually came from. This was a behind-the-scenes video with the director talking about stuff. So again, another way you can certainly apply that to a lot of science. Take a film and then extract something real out of it, and then you have a whole other layer behind the sci-fi to get to the science. So it's a way of bridging that to get from story to accuracy. And taking somebody who's interested in something already and being able to give them that one final nudge into reality to explore the science. Avatar did an interesting thing where they created an online community through TypePad, and that was a way for them to communicate with their fans. They used Facebook, they used Twitter, and they actually created an application through Adobe Air, which you can download to your desktop. and you would bring it up. And as you can see, they've got all kinds of little notes and things in there. You can see their Twitter feed. You can play the trailer. And the great thing about this was it actually allowed them to continue to communicate with people. So instead of, me, Avatar fan, just going to their website and taking a look once, if I'm really interested in this, I download it, and then they can constantly pipe new content through here. So every once in a while, a new trailer will pop up. Every once in a while, I can continue to see what's happening on the feed. So it's an interactive kind of thing that makes you, the fan, part of it, and it's a way of getting information out there. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the Routes project. Now this was, this sort of takes a lot of the different kinds of things I was showing you in other examples and puts it all together in one project. And this is really where I think things are going. Transmedia storytelling, telling a story across a variety of different platforms, on the ground, mobile, social media, traditional video, television. This is more and more what's happening as people who are passive consumers of entertainment are becoming active consumers. They want to take part in the story. So what this did was this explored genetics and bioethics through a variety of platforms. They did it in a couple of different ways. The science needed to be accurate because it was developed with the Wellcome Trust as part of the Darwin 200 program. So it was a key part of it. And there were a couple of different elements. So a big part of it was an 8-part documentary. It was a little online mini-series. A Canadian stand-up named Catherine Ryan submitted herself to a series of genetic tests to sort of explore why she was the way she was. And I've got a trailer for that, which I'll show you in a minute. The website, it featured the documentary clips, and then it also had all kinds of community challenges and flash-based games. And this encouraged user participation. If you played the games and stuff, you could get points and win prizes. And this whole thing was actually aimed at getting a younger audience interested in science. So it was very important to them to do things that would appeal to this particular demographic. Now, in addition to that, there was also a fictional murder mystery that was part of this as well. So in the murder mystery, one of these scientists from the Routes project was killed. And there was a character who went and explored what happened, and you followed her and her friends. There was a friend of hers named Fluffy, who edited together different pieces of the investigation from the video blog the main character kept, and all things, police reports, things like that. That appeared on YouTube. There were live events that happened on the ground that people who were interested in this could actually go to and attend, and at times be shot and actually included in the video as well, so they'd show up on the YouTube videos. And then they posted images onto Flickr and other sites. And you could also, as this whole thing wound down, and it sort of, was this dramatic investigative thriller, at the very end, they broke into a lab. You could actually help participate in their break-in, because of course they were good, by texting messages to help them unlock doors and get codes and safe codes and things like that. So this took place in a whole bunch of places. And I'm going to show you the trailer now. Let's see if it plays. Yeah, that one's not going to play, so I will play you this one instead. I will play this one. There we go.
Is there a gene for a fat butt? Or for bad breath? Or a gene that makes me funny? I'm Catherine Ryan. I'm 25. I've had 2 bouts of cancer and I have a rare genetic disorder. Over the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be testing my DNA and finding out how much defines who we are. Can our genes really make us criminals?
Murder mystery part. The other thing I'll show you are some screenshots from Sneeze, which was one of the Flash games that was on the site. And this was a game where it taught kids about how germs and things spread. So this was a screenshot that they did. It's really gross.